since 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Fenix.
What is going on, guys? Happy Fenix Block 2 release day. Mic check 1 2. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. We've been waiting a long time for this bad boy to come out, so it's very exciting. As you guys can see behind me, we have the Wizz Air IAE engine, and I looked that up. It's International Aero engines, very original. But you can see the back end of it is not kind of, it's kind of enclosed, and it's like a continuous flow throughout the whole housing from the cowling all the way to the end, compared to the CFMs where they look like it's just like a weird nozzle at the end and it's kind of open. So that's kind of cool. There's plenty of things that have changed with this aircraft, and it's a completely new modeled aircraft, so you can't even use the same liveries that you had before. So I had to install a bunch of liveries for the IAE engines, and I'm actually gonna start by, hold on, let me decrease the speed of this drone a little bit. And we're gonna look at the change log real quick that Fenix released, just to give you guys an idea of how many things actually changed. So we got the V2 release quick start guide. I got the sensitivity for my elevator and roll axis matching this, and I'm using side stick dampening system, SDS, so that's on, and I've matched it to that. Rudder damping, this can be used with linear rudder sensitivity, so I just left my rudder, which is not linear, is a little bit, I changed it a little bit, but whatever it was from before, because I have rudder damping on. Apparently the rudder pedal disconnect works now, so you can do your flight control checks while you're taxiing without the tiller, without the nose wheel moving, I guess. If you have a separate tiller axis, which applies to me, you don't have to do anything special. Pedal disconnect will work as required. Please note we will assign correct tiller behavior once you've moved your tiller for the first time that session. If you have a combined, so that applies to me. I don't have the combined. If you do have the combined, you have the option to use a new hidden click spot, the rudder pull tab. So that locks out the rudder while taxiing, and so you can use the tiller without the rudder moving. And that'll automatically disengage when you are in takeoff roll and your speed is in excess of 45 knots with thrust levers and flexor toga. In order to use the pedal disconnect appropriately with this control scheme, please ensure your rudder is not locked out when the pull tab click spot, locked out with the pull tab click spot, so over here, before clicking pedal disconnect to check rudder movement. So most people are, I'm guessing, are not going to have a separate tiller axis like I do. Most people are going to be using the rudder, so this applies to you. Make sure you don't pull that before you click the pedal disconnect. Once you've completed the control check, click the pedal disconnect to reset and pull the rudder tab once again to resume taxiing without the rudder moving. Flare is going to feel different. Please bear this in mind in your first approach. So I read somewhere that the flaps 3 and flaps full setting have changed in terms of the way they control the pitch on the aircraft. So flaps 3 and flaps full pitch has been adjusted a little bit, so that's going to affect your flare. So we'll keep that in mind. I've never flown this yet. This is literally my first flight, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, and as I said, you need new liveries, and there's full GSX integration. I noticed when I pulled up originally at a gate, and then I decided to change it to a stand here, but originally when I put it at the gate, the jetway did automatically connect without me having to call GSX for boarding or anything like that. So saw the immediate effects there. And this is a whole bunch of comprehensive, like exhaustive list of every single change that happened as part of this block too. As you can see, it's a lot. I'm not going to go through all of it obviously, but idle descent pathing generation rewrote idle descent calculation math. So it's kind of like almost from the ground up. Not necessarily, but like pretty much. I mean, when you look at all these different changes, further improvements to LNAV, updated METAR and TAF API. It'll be interesting to see if the weather thing works from the McDo again, because it's been not responding for a few months, the weather METAR request. Added FADEC hot start handling for IAE engines. Updated weather, we saw that. Reduced vertical deviation jumps caused by erroneous distance calculations. So that's a big thing that during the McDo, when we set up the McDo, I usually look at the profile, and a lot of times I'm like, those altitudes don't make sense. It's not a smooth descent that it's going to give us. So hopefully this will fix that. Whole bunch of things. Fix crash if cockpit setup XML, okay, whatever. Fix LNAV calculation bug on FD legs. Fix top of this, top of climb, top of descent overlap on short routes. A lot of different things. Made IAE engines read continuous ignition state from engine electronic control. FADEC reporting. So this is really getting at the heart of the aircraft, and like I said, really they probably revisited the coding almost from the ground up. I'm not a coder myself, but I could only imagine how much work this took. No wonder it took them this long. Fixed issue where sit star were not filtered based on runway selection. So you guys can go through this, but this is crazy how many different changes there were. Fixed a bunch of things with the displays as well. Fixed left right arrows rendering off screen on AOC function page. They went to such a level of detail. Fixed battery label on ECAM. To me, the cockpit looked a little bit different. I don't know if you guys noticed, but for me, it looked like a little bit more blue than usual, but maybe that's just me. Maybe they didn't change anything in terms of the cockpit tones or anything. Sounds, I'm sure the IAE sounds are going to be extremely sexy. Can't wait for that. The EFB feels very responsive to me. We'll check that out. So just wanted to kind of show you guys that before we start. So we are in Warsaw, Poland, and you can see the beautiful, in fact, let me take a screenshot, close-up screenshot from this for the Discord. Beautiful. And I'm gonna have a quick look at this bad boy. Definitely looks a lot better, guys, in my opinion. I'm sure most people feel that way as well. Again, this Block 2 has been a long time coming. Textures look good. All the little rivets, some of them are, you see the dirt like by some of the rivets, and it's like random, it's not consistent. Some some rivets have dirt in some areas of them, the other ones have dirt in other areas of them. Some rivets have no dirt at all. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it was like that before, but check out the wing as well. Nice little kind of dirt at the leading edge of those control surfaces. Not sure if that was there before. It's looking really good, really good. And how about this Wizz Air livery? Absolutely gorgeous. Very nice. Looks beautiful. All our angle of attack vanes and TAT probes and pitot tubes and all that good stuff look good. Static port free and clear. We'd have no hydraulic liquid leak anywhere on the floor. Absolutely beautiful. Landing gear looks good, no leaks, everything's intact. We are ready to fly this bad boy for the first time ever to Budapest in Hungary. It's good to get out of North America for once. So let's go. Let's do it. I am on VATSIM. No VATSIM online, so let's hop in. Beautiful. And you guys can see, first of all, that's a really nice default background, if I may say so myself. But I do wonder how to change the background. I know you can set your own. If anybody knows, let me know in chat. You got the failures added now from, instead of being in the MCDO, it's now transferred over to the EFB. And there's all sorts of different systems that you can fail. Maybe one day we'll do some failures. But aside from that, it's a lot more responsive. Like whenever you click something, it loads right away, which is cool. Error retrieving METAR for airport LHBP sea log from okay. Okay, cool. So we're EPWA to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa, which is in Hungary, Budapest. We have our ground services, GPU connected, we have our chocks and cones. And before any of that, I went through and set as many things as I understand. So the DDRMI, this guy right here, why not? The integrated standby secondary, and all that good stuff. I kind of chose what I wanted. Distance, meters, hectopascals, kilograms, since we're in Europe. I did click use airliner settings, so that's set to that. Got the metric standby altitude, and I did put side stick dampening system. It's going to be interesting to see how it feels compared to the Block 1 version of the Fenix. Rudder damping is on as well. I have auto door simulation, auto jetway simulation on, and cabin announcements. It's going to be interesting to hear that. GSX integration, auto pushback I put off because I want to decide when to push back. I don't want it to just kind of go when I'm not ready. Just because just because beacon light is turned on and the parking brake is set, that doesn't mean necessarily that I want to push back, right? So I turned that off. But auto deboard, auto connect GPU on arrival. We got the wait for refuel before boarding, auto select ground handling agent, all that's on. Auto catering while refueling, I'll keep that. Well, actually that doesn't hurt. We'll put that on. Why not have some catering as well? Auto disconnect GPU on pushback. We'll keep that manual. So that's that. Let's get the weather information. So right now we are, as of 6 o'clock, so 17 minutes old, 310 at 7, good visibility, broken 500, 7 on the temperature, 6 on the dew point, QNH 1022. And this is the cockpit, how it looks. To me, it looks a little bit more blue. I don't know if I'm just seeing it like that. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but you guys let me know in the comments or in chat whether the cockpit textures look the same as before, especially in terms of the color and the tone. Looks like a little bit more bluish, but who knows. Let's go up here and go battery 1, battery 2, and we'll go external power since it's connected. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. No smokings, go to auto. Nav lights go on. Cruise supply oxygen is on. We'll put the CVR on ground control and we'll do our CVR test. Beautiful. For the evac, we'll put on captain and we'll align the aiders. That's looking good up there. And we are on 122.8. Warsaw traffic, Wizz Air 2469, ready to check. I guess no one's around. Europe's sleeping right now. So there we go. We got the V2527-A5. We got the new engines. We're good till 20th of March. I did update my nav database, so we're good there. So let's go here, Atsu, and initialize our flight. We are Wizz Air 2469. Wizz Air 2469. Service from Warsaw down to Budapest in Hungary. We'll go to init, request that, put that there. And let's go back to our responsive, super responsive EFB. Go to pilot, look how quickly that loads. We'll go 360 and 26 on the cost index. I care not for that step climb that SimBrief is giving me. We're gonna go. We got Brendan Barry in the house. I might be in a minority of one, but I don't get the big deal about V2. Textures and performance no better. Engine sounds pretty quiet as far as I can tell. I flew it and going back to CFM. Really, Brendan? I've heard nothing but hype all day, but this is the first time I'm actually literally like kicking it off and setting everything up and doing a full flight. To me, so far the biggest thing I've noticed is just how, in my opinion, sexy the engine looks. I like the engine housing. Looking forward to 321. Oh yeah, for sure. That especially the baby bus, the 321. I'm really looking forward to that, Brendan. But welcome. I hope you had a great weekend. Well, what am I saying? It's hump day. It's Wednesday, but welcome to chat, Brendan. I'll see for myself whether like what the verdict is at the end when we land. I heard good things about the sounds and stuff like that, but it's just impressive overall to see how many different list of line items like they changed. I don't know if you were here when I was going through it, but like this, look at this. This is crazy. Like this is a long list compared to regular change logs for aircrafts. I mean, that is a lot of effort that they didn't necessarily have to do. So I understand like maybe some of these things will probably not be noticeable to any of the regular streamers, but maybe like someone like V1 can really get the best out of all these little different things they've modeled and do some failures and all that good stuff. That would be pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll do some failures as well. If I, since now we have the quick reference handbook, QRH wrote right here, so you can actually go through all the different procedures to do in terms of different failures for the IAE engine, which is absolutely nuts that they included this. I don't know of any other aircraft payware or otherwise that has this. You guys let me know if you do, but look at this, it's crazy. ECAM advisory conditions like engine, oil temperature, and it tells you exactly what to do. Very nice. One day we'll go through it hopefully and we'll do some failures. Scott says it may not be due to the IAE, but performance overall was better for my first flight. That's another thing I'll be curious to test out. So far so good, but I don't know, it's not exactly the JFK scenery. I have the free EPWA scenery from flightsim.to installed, so but so far so good. It's butter smooth. It's looking good. I just love the shape of the engines. I love how the housing just extends all the way and hides the nozzle. Simple, at least turn on realistic random failures. Hey, one day. Not today. Not on the first day. Okay, where the hell was I? I saw -4. So let's go -64. We'll align our IRS on reference. So does the cockpit look exactly the same to you guys? Is it just me imagining things that it seems a little bit more bluish gray than before? It's probably me then. Alright, let's go to the charts here. How do you change the background image? You can reset it, but is there a way to change it? Like, it must be on the EFB. To be fair, I flew out of Vertical Sim Tampa, so performance stutters. Probably not because of Phoenix. I'll fly this thing some more. It's definitely more bluish gray. Okay, so it's not just me. I was starting to think that because nobody was responding to that comment, I'm like, that's probably in my head. But thanks for confirming that. So it is definitely more bluish. So I wonder if the cockpit of the IAE versions are actually like more bluish than the CFMs in real life. They must be, right? That's pretty cool. Like I said, they went through such a great level of detail that they didn't necessarily have to be honest. They could have just went on to the next payware. But I cannot wait for the A319, the baby bus. That's going to be fun. So, oh yeah, I gotta do this over again. Oh, okay, hold on. Navigraph.com/code. Let me just quickly do this on the side. Navigraph. Alright, navigraph.com/code. Dope, that's Whiskey, Delta, Romeo, X-Ray, Mike, Lima, 7, Zulu. It's crazy how they modeled FADEC protections, so the starter system like automatically shuts off according to certain parameters that I can't recall off the top of my head, but that's pretty cool. And the whole engine fan blade icing, not a lot of people are going to encounter that because that's like probably 1% of the flights. Doesn't really happen where it's that cold, but okay, Okay, so let's see, sync route, which is already synced up. What am I supposed to be out of here on? The Avina 7 Golf to Avina. So we'll get the ground charts. So we're over here on stand 800 something, I believe. You can take a look at the stands as well. So we're in apron 9. Apron 3, apron 3, apron 7 Bravo, apron 1, not that one. Apron 9. So we are somewhere in the 800s. $818 perhaps? Yeah, we're in the last one, so we're stand 818. Cool. So we'll go departure Avina 7 Golf. This is Avina 5 Alpha. This one. So Avina 7 Golf is what we're looking for off runway 29. And then for our arrival, the Edemu 2 Tango from Edemu to 31 right. So let's go here. We'll get the ground charts first of all. Where's 10-9? 10-9 over here. So that's for Budapest when we get there. And what else we need? We need the arrival. Edemut 2 Tango. Edemut 2 Tango, check. Was it this one? Nope. Edemut 2 Tango, that one. So that one, we're gonna start that. Good. And what kind of approach are we doing? What runway was it? 3-1 right, Edemut 2 Tango. So let's see. 3-1 right. Do we need it via anything? We'll have a look. So we can either do it Atiko, Nikra, or Ofina, or we can just take the straight ILS without any IAF. So arrival ILS 3-1 right. Edemu 2 Tango. Insert that. Let's see how that looks. Throw on constraints and quick QNH check. What was my QNH? 1022. Let's set that. Again, I'm super curious to see how this will fly. 1022. Let's go to plan. So it's a left turn out for the SID. Avina 7 Golf is going to be, by the way, transition altitude 6500. We're going to note that. I'll actually write that down because we're in Europe. We're used to flight level 180. Cool, so we're going to be a left turn max 200 knots and 1500 feet or above. Good. To Whiskey November 0, Whiskey Alpha November, Whiskey Alpha 901 rather. That's cool, and then a left turn out from there. And then we pick up the Let's go back to Nipus, however you say that, over 18,000 feet, over flight level 180. There's a note that if cruising level below 180, disregard level restriction at Nipus and... Okay, though that doesn't apply to us because we're cruising above that, 360. What's the initial altitude on that? Climb to 6,000 and maintain unless otherwise cleared by ATC. So 6,000 is going to be my initial. Good. All right, let's see how. So in terms of GSX, if I go mass and balance, I'm imagining if I just set this and go load aircraft, but don't put instant, if it'll honor GSX and everything will go, like if GSX integration will work. Let's see. Let's check our flight plan real quick. We need how much fuel? A block fuel of 5,934, and we got passengers 156, cargo 2.3. 5934, 156, 2.3, good. And we'll go a little bit more fuel. Let's take almost a ton more. There's a couple thousand pounds. Apply and load aircraft. Confirm load aircraft. So this is what I was looking for. Okay, so usually I click instant. Real time is 23 minutes, fast time is 8 minutes. What does GSX mean? So GSX will... So we'll click GSX and see what happens. Select handling operator or whatever. Handling by LSAS, cool. Okay, so everything's automatic. Please don't load fuel until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it. Okay, we'll see how that works. Okay, so because I had checked on in the EFP to have auto catering when we're fueling, that's what's happening right now. The fueling's coming and catering's coming. Mr. Rafida is in the house. Sorry, brother, I was busy setting up the aircraft. Happy to be here, bro. Welcome, Raf, for 13 months, over a year now as a Fenix first officer with Mr. Brendan and Scott. Welcome, Raf. Thanks for checking out the stream, dude. Scott says gives you the option how to load. Yup. I'm only gonna do the full GSX thing for the first time. Anytime after this, I'm gonna do what I usually do, which is let them board for like 2 seconds and then disconnect and get on with it. Okay. Fuel truck's in position. Interesting. So that fella is doing his thing. That's pretty cool. Don't forget to update your GSXs if you haven't already. Very cool. So please use the refueling system of your aircraft to refuel. Okay, so now do I... This is waiting for your action. Open to right. Let's see, doors, it's open. So what do I do now for the fuel? It says fuel truck is in position. Open 1 right, that's already open. It says the airplane system is loading fuel, so I don't need to do anything, I think. It's just doing it. If I go to fuel, they're filling us up. Pretty cool. And like I said, because I selected auto catering, it's doing the catering as well. Yeah, I prefer this option where it withholds boarding until you finish refueling. It seems more realistic to me. I think it depends on company procedure and SOP, but most airlines probably do the refueling first before letting in the passengers for safety reasons, but I'm sure many of them don't. Like, many of them do refuel with passengers. It depends which area you're talking about. You can actually see the number here as well. No way. Yeah, just personally, I don't know about you guys, but personally, there's no way I would wait for all this process to play out every time. I'll just accelerate things by resetting position. But for showcasing purposes, since this is the first stream with Block 2, why not? Scott says, I have been on Delta flights while they refuel. Okay, so Delta does it. It's interesting. GSX like gives you a prompt to do something, but then it does it itself. So it says waiting for your action, whatever, but then it does it. So it truly is full GSX integration. I mean, so far so good. Catering's gone. Just run over all the baggage handlers, no problem. $64. We're almost fueled up. Yep, almost there. So we basically had a bunch in our tank, obviously, so we needed around 1400 kilos extra. That's how much we were refueled with. Now it's boarding by itself. Very cool. Now the cargo. Okay, so while they work on loading this aircraft up with some baggage, we're gonna jump back into the cockpit. So zero fuel weight 58.85. Max zero fuel weight 229. Zero fuel weight 44 and 27.8. Interesting, because it's still going. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till this is done before doing the NFB then. So I guess this is just a preliminary load sheet. So right now I'm at zero fuel weight of 44 tons. This is showing 58.8. That's interesting. Let's just see what happens. We're gonna go by our final load sheet anyway. There we go, we got the packs coming on board. So I guess the zero fuel weight will update as the packs board. It'll more or less match the preliminary load sheet that we got. It was like 58 point something tons, whereas right now we're at 40. So as the passengers board, the zero fuel weights to change. Let's do a little snapshot here while we're waiting. Alright, 42 passengers boarded. Got about 110 more. Welcome, welcome, welcome aboard. Hello, welcome, sir. Welcome aboard. Welcome, welcome. He actually looked at me. That was a little bit creepy. Welcome aboard, ma'am. Welcome, welcome. And since Wizz Air is a low-cost airline, it's totally appropriate to be parked up at the ramp here. They're not going to be at the gates most of the time, probably, I'm guessing, like kind of like Ryanair. So we got the baggage loading going on this side. Oh, look at that. That's a screenshot right there. That is a screenshot right there if I've ever seen any screenshot ever. Oh yeah. Save that. So I'm not used to touching the pedal disconnect button just because it wasn't even modeled before, but now that it's modeled, does that mean I need to click the pedal disconnect when I'm doing the flight control check? Or does it not matter for me since I'm not doing it while I'm taxiing, so I don't care? I guess the pedal disconnect is meant for you not to have any tiller inputs, like nose wheel inputs when you're checking your rudders as you're taxiing, like already in motion. Look at these beautiful IAEs. And I believe they use, on the ECAM, they use engine pressure ratio instead of N1 to measure up the IAEs. So that's basically the ratio of the pressure from the inlet where the compressor starts to the outlet where the nozzle basically exhausts the air fuel, the combusted air fuel mixture. So that's EPR. That's going to be cool to see. And I also read that the what do you call it? The spool up times are going to be a little bit longer than the CFM engines. Here comes another passenger bus. Wait, why is it saying passengers boarding starting again? I think that's a glitch. Didn't we already board? That's interesting. Let's go in here and have a look. And I haven't set my custom wing views yet. Oh, that's a little creepy, because I'm in external mode. Alright, hold on. Let's see what the loading is doing. So it says the figures are live. Are they still going? Yes, it still is. Okay, it's just boarded 94, so I guess that was like one bus and now it's the second bus full of passengers. That's all that was. Dun, 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 dun. Baggage loading is complete. I really like the color theme for the Wizz Air livery. So it's cool to see the GSX integration working pretty well, but like I said, personally I would not have the patience to wait this long every flight. Alright, 12 more people to board. Welcome aboard, y'all. One more screenshot for the IAE engines. Can't get enough of that one. Can't get enough of the visuals for the engines. Alright, there goes the bus. Boarding completed. Waiting for your action. Close one left. I guess it'll do that automatically. Nope. Doesn't want me to do it. So there we go. The zero fuel weight change now 58.85 and 30.3. Now, what did you want me to do? Ground services. Okay, so you already closed it. I knew it. 58.85, and I think now you can auto transfer these numbers to the McDo for init B. 58.8 and 30.3. So we'll accept the 58.8 and the Mac different. The Mac zero fuel weight is different. 30.3. So that's interesting. It's a 1% difference. I'm not going to accept that preliminary. I'm going to accept the second load sheet. 58.8 max zero fuel weight 30.3. That's the load sheet I want. Beautiful. Now if I go to init B, there's no. I thought you can automatically send it over. There should be a way. Settings? No, not there. Sim settings. There should be a way to send these numbers directly, but for now that's fine. Oh, send to McDo right here. So this is really cool, guys. You don't have to memorize this and type it out. You can just click. There you go. Send to McDo. So 58.8 and 30.3. 58.8, 30.3. There you go. And it populates the rest for you. Let's see what my taxi numbers are looking like in terms of the fuel. So 0.2, that's fine. Final reserves, 1.1, alternate 1.3. 1.3 on the alternate. Route reserves, how much do I want in the contingent fuel? 0.6. Alright, that looks good to me. And what's the ground temperature? 7 degrees right now in Poland. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna leave tropopause what it is. I always wondered if I have to enter that. Where's the trop? There's the trop. So there's the today's tropopause. It's around what, 35,000? So it looks like it's between 38 and 34. Maybe 36, we'll call it. Between maybe 37 and 35. So I think that's already auto there. Yeah, 36. So that's already matching. I think that's, you don't have to touch that perhaps. Let's go to our performance calcs. Again, it's super buttery, the EFB. As soon as I touch it, boom. So runway 29, conditions are dry. Flap config optimal, force toga no, anti-ice off, packs on. Winds are 320 at 6, 7, 10, 22. Is that the case? Winds are 320 at 6, 7, 10, 22. Yes, sir. Let's calculate. And look at that. We have intersection data now, I think. I know there should be some sort of an intersection. Add custom, or we'll have to figure that one out. 37, 37, 40. 37, 37, 40. Three down, nothing. Interesting. Flaps 3. That's a first. Flaps optimal. Why? How long is the runway? It's a 9,000 foot runway. Okay, I'm gonna say flaps 2. I don't know why it's giving me flaps 3. That's interesting. Packs are on. Okay, 38, 38, 41. We'll go with that. 38, 38, 41. Good. And what's my trim? 2 down, nothing. So I'm just going to put 2 here, slash, and flex 2 temperature. We're flexing 52 with 1350 on the temperature, on the acceleration altitude. Transition altitude correctly set 6,500. Good. And check my overall flight plan one more time. So we are coming on a downwind, is it? Interesting, the arrival sends us this way rather than the downwind. So do we have to vector ourselves? Just want to check that before I take off because it's a shorter flight. Here. So we're doing runway, let's see, 31 right. So it does send us to Edemu to Tango from Edemu to Lahore to Lakla to Bravo Papa 783, max 250 knots, and then to Alpax, and then 774 to Keter. Interesting. And then for the approach, so maybe we can fix it via Atiko. We'll kind of spin back around and come. That'll be kind of be a cool arrival if we go like this. Arrival. What if I go like that? So I'll kind of vector myself like this. So we're coming on a, what is that, a right downwind, and then we're gonna make our way over to a left downwind, and then do a little twirly thing and land like that. That would be kind of cool. We'll insert that. Let's have the look one more time. Yes, we'll fix it from that. Okay, happy with that. Let's get out of here, guys. Let's test this puppy out officially. So like I said, I didn't have auto pushback on, so I've turned that off, so it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to do that manually. So I'm just gonna get back here. Let's go here, EPWA, and go airport charts. Good. So we're gonna need to push back, basically nose to the left, taxi past the terminal for 29 via, what would this be, Alpha and Echo? I think different segments are different things, like Echo 1, that's Echo 2. Europe's a little bit different that way. But yeah, let's go GSX pushback. Fuel pumps coming on, seatbelt signs coming on, APU.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Let's listen to this for a sec.
Completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Beautiful sound of the APU. And we're gonna go beacon lights on. Now where's the passenger announcements? That's one thing I haven't heard yet. I do have it turned on. Background, I mean, no, not that. Where was it? Here, sim settings, cabin announcements. Mute on task switch enabled. What does that mean, mute on task switch? I don't want to mute it. I wonder what task switch means.
Locking gear.
Alright, we'll see if it'll make any announcements or not. We got APU avail. It's going to be nose to the left.
Release parking brakes, please.
APU bleed on. External power off. And GPU, I put it to disconnect manually.
Brakes, please.
Chocks and cones, so let's see, parking brakes are set, tracks and cones off, GPU going off, and let's release parking brakes.
Parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, here we go back. Now, I don't have an engine view set yet because I want to check it out with you guys live. So what I'm going to do is we'll start engine number 1. 7 degrees out, so we shouldn't have any FADEC issues. I know that's modeled now. And there we go. We got the engine pressure ratio as a gauge now. The N1's still there. Where's N2? N1, N2. Cool. So that's the N2, that's the N1. Okay, there's the fuel flow. So it looks like the FADEC is accepting our start. We got a good engine start going. There we go. And you can tell it's a little bit longer in terms of the start sequence than the CFM engines for sure. Those ones do start up a lot quicker, I feel like. Let's go to the cabin and let's get a little engine view. There we go, guys. The cabin announcements, there we go. You might want to be in the cabin to hear the cabin announcements. Oh, baby, look at that. That is sexy. Okay, I'm gonna go control. We're gonna add this as our 7th custom view. And whoever wants a tutorial on custom views, I made that recently on the channel, a quick one. Without music this time, since everybody berated me in the comments the first time. They're like, turn the music off. Alright, that looks good. We got good engine number 1. Let's go engine number 2. Woof, woof. PTU is kicking. We'll get a little engine, or wing view rather. We'll go like here to see the flaps nicely. Yeah, this is a nice wing view for me for now. I'm going to save that on number 6. There we go. Oh, that sounds pretty good, to be honest with you. I hear the bass in my headphones. I hope it translates in the stream. I love the automatic announcement as well. Alright, we got 2 good engines. Let's go ahead and kill the starter switch. And APU bleed going off.
Please set parking brakes.
APU going off. Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Pipes are back online. Let's give a good confirmation for engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
And they actually have a European accent since we're in Europe. That is hilarious. Alright, let's go flaps set to takeoff. We'll go flaps 2. See the slats come out. Oh baby, that wing looks good.
Unlocking gear.
Alright, so auto brakes max, ground spoilers armed, and what was my trim neutral? Trim is neutral set. Alright, I'm gonna go to 122.8. Warsaw traffic, Wizz Air 2469, ready to check. No one's around, I'm guessing. Alright, let's do...
525.
Thank you very much. Perfect, somebody responded. So we're good on VATSIM. Alright, hold your ears, this might be a little loud. We're gonna go block time on. Oh baby, here we go. So let's go takeoff config. There he goes with the bypass pin. See ya. Alright, and I heard you get a call to say cabin is ready. I wonder when that'll happen. Let's do a flight control test. So do I not need to use the pedal disconnect since I'm not moving? Let's see. Flight controls. Let's come over here, shift into position. Full left, neutral, and again, I'm using the sensitivity curves that's in the Fenix changelog, whatever Fenix is recommending. I did see in V1's stream earlier that he liked it linear, but I don't know if he's going to end up changing his mind or not, maybe. So the rudder's not working, so is it because the pedal disconnecting, or is the rudder lockout? There we go. I clicked it and now it's working. Okay, so that's the rudder lockout. Don't need to engage that since I have my tiller axis right here. Like so. So again, full left, neutral, observed, full right, neutral, observed, full aft, forward, right, left, flight control test complete, and I'm not gonna use the pedal disconnect, or am I gonna use it? What's standard procedure? Did you turn on cabin ready on the EFB? It's in one of the settings page. Let's see. Settings. Cabin lights, cabin visibility. Where is, so we have the SDS and rudder damping. Where's the cabin ready? Oh, the room. Yeah, that one's it's on, Scott. What does that mean? Am I supposed to receive a call or something? Intercom is in. Is it the cabin I need to turn up? I'll just leave that since it was by default on. Let's squawk 2000. There we go.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Holy shit. Okay, that's cool. And the PA volume I can adjust, and that apparently is functional now. Okay, so calling back on that, on VHF1, good. That is pretty cool. So that's the call that Scott was talking about. I'm gonna squawk 2000 and on. All right, let's get out of here. Pretty cool. Hold on, let me see where I'm taxiing real quick. So we probably need to go around. Ooh, okay, hold on. The brakes also feel different because now they've modeled it so it's linear. So now if I press the brakes a little bit, it should slow down a little bit. It should have a linear response. Yes, it does. So let's see. I'm gonna brake like halfway. Yep, slowing down. And now I brake fully. You see how it like brakes more abruptly? So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Navigraph. So we are taxiing via... I don't know what these lanes are. I'm assuming this is Alpha and this is Echo, because if I come here and go here and go ground charts and go... where was it? parking stands, wherever apron 9 was. Apron 9 are right here, so it's uniform 2, I guess. Is this the numbers we're supposed to, is this the lanes, like what we're supposed to call them? I'm just gonna call it Alpha. No, uniform 2 is immediately around apron 9, so over here, okay. Warsaw traffic, Wizz Air, 2469 taxiing runway 29 by Alpha, Echo, holding short, Echo 4. Warsaw traffic. Let's get our taxi lights on. Alright, we're gonna need to go left and around, so let's see, can we get on? Can we go based on the outer lane? It's kind of hard to tell here. Okay, I'm gonna stay obviously here in the apron area, because that's Sierra 2 and that leads to the runway, so you don't want to go there. So we're gonna take a left here, and it feels pretty buttery smooth, but again, this is no JFK, this is no LAX, so the true stress test for this would be when I load into one of those heavy intensive airports. If anybody's interested in this, a Freeware Warsaw scenery, it's on flightsim.to, and the link is in the description. Again, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you smash this like button and share the stream with more people, so we can more people can enjoy the Block 2 with us. I'd really appreciate you guys. I really like this, the new way the brakes feel. How if I just press it a little bit, it's kind of like a linear response. It's not just like you got to press it all the way for it to work. Pretty cool. So we're gonna hang a left there onto Echo when we get to it. Alright, let's take a left here. Remember, transition altitude is 6,500. Transition level will assume 10,000 for Budapest as well. Another thing that is what I'm feeling, I don't know if like this is just compared to the Block 1, is the inertia. I feel like if I don't press the brakes and just let it go, it'll start speeding up a lot more than it used to. So you got to constantly be on the brakes a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit of a downhill here as well, slope. And we've already got 13 likes. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Alright, so it's going to be runway 29 and a left turn out on departure. So it's going to be taking off to the west and left turn towards the south. Warsaw traffic, Wizz Air 2469 departing runway 29er via the Avina 7 Gulf departure to the southwest. Warsaw traffic. Alright, let's go. Lights, lights. See, this is not as loud in the cockpit now. It used to be louder. I guess that's more realistic. They've modeled it because you hear it more obviously in the cabin when you toggle the seatbelt signs. Alright guys, let's get out of here. Final looks clear here in Poland. Alright, takeoff landing cam. Let's get a quick screenshot here. So far so good, it's buttery smooth. So far so good. Save that from that angle first. And let's go this side as well. Alright, let's go. Let's get it. So remember, the engines probably spool up slower. Set takeoff thrust. Manflex 52 SRS, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Under knots. Ho ho ho, that does sound a little bit juicy. V1, rotate. Navin. Let's wait for 1,000 feet. Oh, that sounds good, chat. I like it. Thrust climb, auto thrust, flaps up 1. Warsaw traffic, Wizz Air 2469, departed runway 29er, Avina 7 Golf, departure to the southwest, last call, climbing out of 2000, Warsaw. Flaps up. So 1500 and above, and we're past that speed limit. So 5000 and above for the next waypoint. So far so good on the takeoff. That's absolutely felt marvelous with the side stick dampening on. Again, I'm not a real world pilot. All I have to do is compare it to the V1 that I flew, the Block V1. And it doesn't seem as twitchy. Like my inputs, I truly feel like it's a little bit dampened. Like it doesn't respond as quickly to my inputs in a twitchy way like it used to. Not that it was bad before, but oh baby, look at that breakout. And we're going to continue the climb all the way to cruising altitude of 360. 360 blue, I see it. Transition altitude, standard, standard, standard. Let's pitch for 250. Disarm ground spoilers, please, and nose lights off. Look at that. Feels buttery smooth so far. Okay, climbing out of 10,000. I'm going to go landing lights off. Seatbelt signs off. Ding the cabin. Put the nose down. Accelerate. Check the cabin pressure. 500 feet a minute on the cabin vertical speed. Cabin altitude 1850 and climbing. Delta P 3.9. Pressurizing. Good. Make this left turn here. Coming up in about 7.8 miles. I do not hear whoever's on ATC. Yeah, the engine sounds, I'm not going to necessarily say they sound better than the CFM, but I definitely do detect the difference. They sound way different than the CFMs. I'll leave it up to you guys to be the judge of which one sounds better or not. Yeah, like little inputs I'm making into the side stick, it's a little bit more like a heavy boat. It feels like not as responsive. Now whether that's more realistic or not, I'll leave that up to V1, but I like the SDS. So far so good. We'll see how it is on landing. But side stick dampening system for the win. Alright, let's go autopilot's on. Back with you. Oh, look at that. Let me turn the sounds down. And we're on our way to Budapest. Smash that like button for that arrival, guys. Let's see if we can get to at least 15 likes. So far it's smooth as butter. I'd be curious to see how it responds to high VRAM using sceneries like, say, the Tampa or even the Syracuse that we were having some stuttering coming into the other day. What else? JFK. Who knows? Maybe after we land, I'll just do a quick circuit around JFK or LAX or something. Somewhere with a heavy scenery just to see how it responds. If you guys are up for that, we'll see. Let's take a screenshot from this side as well. Oh baby, that looks sexy. That looks good. We have something called flight freeze. I don't think I've seen that before. So failures none. That's what we like to see. Sim rate normal. FMS reset. We don't want to touch that. Ground service. APU quick start. Ground power. Oh, so you can manipulate the ground power settings from here as well. The ground service settings. And you can do your pushback. I believe the pushback was over here before in the EFB. And we're making our way to Avina. Alright, let's see what we're working with in terms of our arrival down to Budapest, Hungary. We're gonna go here. So again, we're gonna be on the Edemu 2 Tango arrival. No altitude restrictions really until 5,000 for K2s, so I'll set for that. You want to be at K2s at 5,000. For the ILS, we're gonna take it from, so we're gonna come over here on a right downwind and then swing it around on a left downwind from ATCO at 4,000. So I want to be, yeah, I'll say like 6,000-ish by Catco. Oh, you know what? We'll call it 7,000. So we'll aim for 7,000 feet by K2s because it's, again, 5,000 or above. So, and we want to make sure the 230 knot restriction is in the box as well. That's there beautifully. Now it calculates us at 15,000. Interesting, because we can technically vector a lot, but yeah, I don't know about that. If you want to be at K2s at 5,000 or above, why does it have as 15? Like, how much vectoring is it assuming? So because I know I want to be at ATCO at 4,000 and then come into Bravo Papa 865. So how about, yeah, ATCO at 5,000 sounds good. We have 6 miles to lose a couple thousand and we'll get to 3,000 by Bravo Papa 865. Let's see, Bravo Papa 865, 4,000. Okay, so I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to say I want to be at, I'll aim for, say, 8,000. We'll see how that goes. So 8,000 here. Insert. So that'll recalculate the profile. It's interesting because I thought as part of this Block 2 update, they fixed the VNAV altitudes profile not being necessarily the smoothest in terms of the descent that it gives you, but I need more examples to see. So I have K2s at 8,000. We'll do our fix based on that. So that's Charlie, Alpha, Tango, Uniform, Zulu. To come down from 360 down to 8,000, that's 28 to lose. That's 60, 70, 84. We'll call it like 80. We'll say 87 out from K2s. We'll start our descent. And let's see, what's the final approach course is 307, so the reciprocal of that would be 127. 127, so let's enter a fix around Lima Hotel Bravo Papa 3-1 right is what we're planning. Yeah, so 127. Lima Hotel, Bravo, Papa. It all feels a lot more responsive. The McDo is just so quick. When you click something, it's like instant. Alright, let's check our fixed rings. So let's see. If this is a 10-mile ring, that means we're going 20 out for K2s. If we're going 20 out that way and then coming back another 20 to get Attico, you know what? That's 40 miles. So maybe it wasn't... Maybe the profile that it calculated, the McDo, was perfectly fine. I'm going to go back to it, to be honest with you guys. I like it. I'm going to go plus 5,000 at this, and I'm gonna let it do its thing. And it's probably gonna recalculate Cat 2s at 15,000. You know what? That's perfectly okay. I was the one that was incorrect over there. So I was the one that was incorrect. So we're gonna go 15,000 feet by Cat 2s because we're gonna have, you know, 20 miles or so to lose 10,000 feet, or more than 20 miles. 40 miles to lose 10,000, so that I'm perfectly happy with it. So you know what? Take back what I said about the Block 2 not having smooth VNAV profile. It totally does. I'm happy with this. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this in managed descent mode the whole way. So I'm curious to see how the aircraft does it on its own. So we're not gonna touch vertical speed or open descent. We're gonna do managed descent the entire way and see how the profile that it has calculated works out, since as part of the changelog they told us the VNAV has been improved. Cool, so that sounds like a plan to me. Let's get the weather down in over here. So as of 6:30, so it's an hour old. Let me see if I can get that on in chat. Otherwise, what I can do is I can also check the weather in Budapest in my thing, Navigraph. So as of 003 Zulu. So what is that? 7:30. So there you go, 7 minutes old. And that's the same thing that popped up in chat, so that's good. 360 at 3 knots, so winds are pretty calm there. Sorry, perf. Winds are 360 at 3. Temperature 5. Altimeter 1020. Transition level 100, that's correct. And on the ILS approach, we got minimums of so are these the aircraft categories? So we're based on our approach speed, I believe this A320 falls under category Charlie. So we're going to use the minimums of 618 feet on the Barrow. RVR 750 meters when a flight director or autopilot or HUD to DA is not used. That's for touchdown zone or center line lighting out. So we're good. Weather's looking good down in Cabo K. That's what you like to see in Europe. So we're gonna go 618 on the Barrow. And we have reached our cruising altitude. Looking beautiful. Batsun's all offline, of course, because they're sleeping. Beautiful. Scott says V1 liked the -20 curve, but is going to test some more for his final settings. Okay, good. So I instinctively kind of went with what Amir said from Phoenix. Set it to -20, and honestly, Scott, on departure, it felt great when I was hand flying it. So I'm really curious to see how it'll perform on landing. But so far, so good. I have no complaints about the way it felt. So I'm gonna leave the sensitivity settings to what I have. Same here. Watch my landing in high winds. Posted that video on Discord. Let's see it. So Scott's first ever flight in the V2 Block 2. Let's see. All right, let's see Scott's landing. Holy moly, it was spicy down there, eh? Let's go quality 4K, thank you. Whoops. Where was I? Scott. Towards this video. This is what happens when you have 1,000 things open. Hold on, one sec. Where was it? There it is. So you're in the jet blue, huh? So squad's coming in. AJ, so this is Atlanta, yeah. Atlanta 26 right. Pretty spicy conditions for your first ever landing. There's the auto thrust kicking in because it's probably gusty. Look at that. You see the EPR going up and down. It's the engine's like spooling up and down. I can tell fighting some gusts. And you can also tell by the speed tape moving like that. Alright, field in sight. Broke out at about 1,300 feet. Oh, but the field went away again. Interesting. I had the field in sight for a second there. There it is. So 1,100 feet breakout. This is where like a false glide slope like at the Fly Tampa scenery would really screw you. Hold on. Let's hear this. Let's see this rather. $500. Gusty, dude. But at least it's down the nose. Yeah, you were fighting that thing. 2 red, 2 white on the paps. Nice. Greased it. Beautiful. What was that, like minus 90 or something? That seemed like a sub minus 100-ish. Alright, TOD pretty much coming up. Cabin sounds going up. Let's go, seatbelt signs on. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking on behalf of Wizz Air. I'd like to thank you for this. Oh, well, there you go. Again, on behalf of Wizz Air, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this service to Budapest from Warsaw, Poland. We're currently at our final cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, and we'll be starting our descent towards Budapest in about 3-4 minutes. If there's any last minute business you have to take care of, now is the right time to do it. Otherwise, we ask that you remain seated for the remainder of this flight and follow the cabin crew's instructions at all times. The weather down in Budapest is around 5 degrees centigrade, and we should have you down to the ground in about 30 minutes as planned. Again, on behalf of Wizz Air, if there's anything we can do to make the remainder of this short flight more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. If Budapest is home, welcome home in advance. Otherwise, we ask that. Otherwise, we wish you a safe transit after this. Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for arrival. Thank you. Sheesh. All right. So I'm not going to go by this. This is the old fixed ring. We're going to delete that. We're just going to go exactly what the... We're going to do exactly what the McDo tells us. Just because I want to test it out. We have a company message we can clear. Send ADC delay for 638 minutes. You know what to do. We'll delay, blame it on the dispatch. 0D1. That's just because I turned the sim time back. So we can enjoy some scenery. Look at this. It's good to get out of US sometimes and enjoy the beauty of Europe. Hold on, let me just get some more water for the descent. I'll be right back. Okay, this is a screenshot with those gorgeous snow-capped mountains in the back. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I'll post it all on the Discord server. Whoever wants to join it, there's a link from Nightbot. top of descent according to the McDo is not for another 50 miles or so. So we're just chilling, enjoying the gorgeous scenery. It is so buttery smooth. Let me see what my, what was the shortcut for the NVIDIA overlay? Was it Windows G? Yes, it was. I am getting, interesting, apparently GPU usage is 99%, 100% GPU usage, doesn't feel like it. VRAM 80%, FPS 110, so I'm getting 110 FPS right now with frame gen on. Mr. Brendan Berry says just flew this thing again, short hop to Tampa, short hop Tampa to Miami. It's a really nice plane, takeoff and climb out. The engines are pretty awesome. Barely hear engine start or cabin announcements. Yeah, that's one thing I observed as well, Brendan. The volume of the engine sounds inside the cockpit are a little bit quieter. Wondering if I have some settings wrong. Barely hear engine start or cabin announcements. No, I think, now is this in the cabin? Because when I had the cabin announcements, I had to be in the cabin. You don't hear anything from the cockpit. In terms of the engine start, it was pretty quiet for me inside the cockpit as well. If you can't hear anything at all, that's a different story. But my instinct is to say that's just how it is. I don't think you have anything set wrong. As far as I know, Brendan, I don't think you can manipulate the volumes, like any component of volumes here, unless I'm wrong, but I don't think so. See, it doesn't let you touch anything in terms of volume, so I don't think you have anything set wrong. It's just how it is. Okay, now GPU usage is 90, but 110 FPS. We'll take it. It seems like an awful lot of GPU usage though for this for being at cruising altitude. All right. So our arrival information is current. And the first altitude we're gonna descend to, pretty straightforward arrival here. We're just gonna go, let's go 11,000, so 1,000 above our transition level. And how I know the transition level, I just come to any approach chart. So transition level, technically it's by ATC, but since we don't have ATC, I usually just use the transition altitude, so 10,000. So far, my biggest observation has been what Scott said, like how buttery smooth the performance is, but again, I'd be curious to test it out in LAX. Scott says, unless you change your MSFS volume settings, but if CFMs are sounding good, then that may not be it. Yeah, maybe it's just how the V2 Block 2 is in terms of how much you hear of the engine sounds in the cockpit. Maybe, again, the problem is I don't have a real life reference, obviously, but maybe in the cockpit in real life it's not that loud or noticeable. But if you're not hearing the engines in the cabin, that's a different story. So that looks so gorgeous, man. Guys, we should do flights outside of America more often. Like, I know there's no VATSIM, it kind of sucks the time that I stream, but just for the sake of having an eclectic kind of taste in landscape, I would like to go to other areas, like maybe Africa, Australia. We should do, you know what, who cares if there's no VATSIM? Let's just do it for the sake of scenery, because this is gorgeous right now. We're so used to US and Canada. Let's plan LOWI. Which one is that? Innsbruck? I don't know how to do that approach, Scott. If you guys certify that I can try the Innsbruck approach and I can screw it up, and whatever happens, we don't count that against my official record, then I'll be up for it. So if you're willing to see me struggle. Another thing is failures. We can do failures as long as you don't hold it against the official record. It's not bad. We can do Amsterdam to Innsbruck. Yeah, it's not bad if you're doing a straight into 2.6, Scott. But what about the circle to land? It's spashy. We can try it out, man. Whatever. We can try it out. As long as the visibility is okay. Brendan says, I've seen some folks saying it sounds awesome, but with headphones on as opposed to just PC speakers. I'll try that next. Oh, you know what? That's a really good point, because I have pretty good headphones on right now, Brendan. And when I was starting the engine, the one thing that stood out to me is the bass. Like, I could really feel that low vibrating drone kind of low frequency sound when the starter motor was just going to get the N2 spinning. It sounded like a huge bass in my ear, but that's probably the headphones. You're right. I bet you if I do it from my speaker here, my little Bluetooth speaker, it's not going to definitely be the same. All right, let's go down to 11,000. So we're gonna go exactly by what the McDo tells us. So we'll start our descent in about 8 miles. Alright, we're gonna land with 3.9 tons. We have 4.2, so say 0.2 less. So 60, we'll just call it 62.9 for the landing distance. The landing performance calculation. So I'm gonna press this and start our managed descent now. We should be pretty much on profile, and we're gonna toggle the seatbelt signs on. Let's go over here to our approach. Scott coming in with the $4.99 super sticker, says hype. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support as always. Appreciate the tip. Let me go arrival, and let me update the ticker for Scott as well. Appreciate the dodo, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. So what runway am I doing? 3-1 right. Conditions are dry. Now weather, there's no METAR, so we're gonna do it manually. 360 at 3. Let me make sure everything's okay with the descent. 3,000 feet a minute. Yeah. See, it's not diving like crazy. It seems to be holding a pretty steady descent rate, not like fluctuating 4,000, 5,000 to like get the right speed. So for example, maybe the old one would have, the Block 1 would have suddenly slowed down the descent to get the correct speed. Like, it was a little pitch heavy, pitch twitchy. But this one kind of smoothly does it. We'll see how it captures the speed. So it's interesting. It's moving the whole speed tape up as we're coming down to the transition to indicated airspeed. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Brendan Beery super chatted $5.
Brendan.
$5 from Brendan Beery. Hype here too. Anyway, we slice it. Phoenix has set the standard.
Brendan, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the $5 tip. And how can you argue with that, right? My only thing, Brendan, is how does this truly compare to the TOLIS? Because I know the TOLIS A319 and A321 and X-Plane, they're super in-depth in terms of their flight model and all their systems and stuff. But in some aspects, like for fan blade icing and the FADEC protection and whatever they've added as part of V2, like that is a new standard for sure. I would agree with that. Thanks so much for the $5 tip, Brendan. Appreciate you, man, as always. All right. So back to the thing. It was 360 at 3. Okay, so how do you put this? 360 at 3? Oh, okay. And then what's the temperature? Five degrees, 1020. 5 degrees. Altimeter, or QNH rather, 1020. So landing weight, I said we're gonna go call it 62.9. It wants it in decimals. Auto brakes, we're gonna keep it low. Idle, we'll go max reverse. Manual landing, flaps full, auto thrust on. So look at this. With a 15% safety factor, we need 2,323 meters. We have a landing distance available of 3,700. So auto brakes low is more than adequate. So far so good in terms of the descent rate, because that's one thing that I really had an issue with in V1, in Block 1, is how suddenly it dove and it went in a, like descent speeds in excess of 5,000 feet a minute, which is not really realistic. I'm pretty sure in real life, under normal conditions, they're not going to go more than like 3 to 4,000 max in terms of the rate of descent, because that's not going to feel comfortable for the packs. In fact, let me just get auto brakes low. In fact, I remember as a kid, I don't remember what flight it was on, but I just remember the descent was like so, you know when you have that feeling on a roller coaster where your heart just drops, your stomach drops? That's the feeling I kept getting, like on and off, and I was like, what is this pilot doing? And I guess that's when they were trying to catch up to a certain profile or something, so they were probably doing 4,000 or 5,000 feet a minute at that point. Alright, the field is about 20 miles north of us, so, or, hold on, we are east of the field, so 20 to the west, so we're 20 to the east right now. So we are on the Edemo 2 Tango. Budapest traffic, Wizz Air 2469 is on the Edemo 2 Tango, about 20 miles to the east of the field, descending out of flight level 226. We're going to be planning an ILS approach, runway 31 right, Budapest. Let it just do its thing. Hold your ears, this is going to be loud. Actually, I don't need you to hold your ears, I'll just turn it down for you. There we go, let's get an outside view. Catching up to the profile, or slowing down to the profile catches up with us, and we're also slowing down to 250 because you want to be at 250 knots max at Bravo Papa 783 that we just passed, so it didn't necessarily slow down to where it should have. Let's see if it'll follow the one at Ulpax. So you want to be at 230 knots at Ulpax. It looks like it'll hit that, but interesting. So it didn't follow any. You're supposed to be 250 knots at Bravo Papa 783, but it didn't. Either it wasn't loaded in there. Yeah, it wasn't loaded in there. Interesting. It is on the approach chart, on the arrival chart. So you want to be max 250, but I guess it didn't pick that up. But regardless, 230 knots, Edema 2 Tango and on Ulpax. So right now we're on a left downwind, but for the opposite of 3-1. So what is it, 1-3? Left downwind for 1-3, but we're going to go all the way around and vector ourselves. Oh, I really love this engine view. Gorgeous. And basically for the missed approach, it's going to be climb to Bravo Papa 863, so straight ahead, and then turn right, maximum 185 knots, direct to the Tango Papa Sierra VOR, and continue climb to 3,000 feet. At 3,000, enter holding at Tango Papa Sierra VOR, and it's going to be a parallel entry. That's the RNAV missed approach. There's a missed approach conventional. Hold on, let me show you guys. So for this ILS procedure, which we're going to be conducting from Attico at around 5,000 feet, we have a final approach course of 307, 109.5, localizer Bravo Papa Romeo. It needs more drag, so let's comply. We'll give it some drag. Good. We'll go RadNav. Bravo Papa Romeo 109.5, 307, 109.5, 307, good. So the conventional missed approach from if you're on the RNAV, which is what we'll be doing, because we're going to be doing in nav if we have to go around. It's going to be climb to Bravo Papa 683, max 185, then make that turn to there and hold. Missed approach conventional, climb to 3,000, initially on radial 127 of the Budapest inbound. So 127 is this way. That's the radial inbound, so basically the opposite of that outbound. And then after passing the station, continue after, oh okay, so inbound here on the missed approach, and then after passing it, continue on 307 outbound, and then passing 1.5 DME, right turn on 307 BOD to TPS VOR. It's basically right turn to TPS is the gist of it. Alright, we're on the downwind now. Let's see. I'm going to start vectoring ourselves. We'll keep speed around 240 for now. Alright, let's get the speed brakes out. That's why I love the Airbus. Gives you kind reminders like that. MSA in the area is 2,800 coming from this way, 3,200. So I can go down all the way. I'll go down to 5,000 for Attico. Attico at 5,200. So yeah, I'll go to 5,000. and we'll start making our way this way. So we're about 20 to the north west of the field. Budapest traffic, Wizz Air 2469 is about 20 to the north west of the field. We'll be turning back around on a left downwind to join the ILS 31 right from Atiko, Budapest traffic. Alright, transition level again. I'm gonna do one more weather check to see if it's updated. I don't think so though. Transition level is 10,000 feet and QNH 1020. As of 0100 Zulu, so as of 8 p.m. So we do have new information. 330 at 3. It's variable between 300 and 360. Okay. QNH 1020, temperature 5. That's fine. We could update it. What was it 330 at 3? It doesn't really matter much. And the altimeter 1020. Alright, I'm going to also slow it down to 210. Looking good. Interesting how it doesn't want to slow down. It probably needs some speed brakes. So here we go, speed brakes. And coming through to 10,000. Let's go landing lights. Leaving the cabin and check the pressurization. We are depressurizing at a rate of 350 feet a minute. Cabin altitude 2,000 and declining. Landing elevations auto 450. Airport elevation 496, so 450 checks out. 3.6 on the PSI and declining, so that's good to go. All right, let's make that turn. And give me flaps 1, just because the margin. I don't want the auto thrust to slow down on us, and then we'll be hitting our low speed protection zone. Okay, transition altitude 1020 on the QNH. Speed brakes stowed and armed. And at this time I'll take a direct to Atco. Direct Atco and nav. Budapest traffic wizard 2469 on a left downwind direct Attico for the ILS approach runway 31 right, Budapest. Just do open descent at this point. Thrust idle open descent. We're going to keep 210 and go down to 5,000. And I can activate approach phase as well. We're looking for a VAP of 137 today. And when we touch down on 3-1 right, we have 12,000 feet. We're gonna vacate on the left side and taxi via, probably back taxi from Alpha 7. See, this is what I mean. In US, this would all be called Alpha, taxiway Alpha, but they have different junctions in Europe. This is Alpha 9, this is Alpha 8, this is Alpha 7. So we're probably gonna vacate via Zulu. Or if we're floaty, we'll go via Kilo, and we'll come to the gate either Alpha 5 Mike or back taxi Alpha 7 to Lima. So vacating on the left. Okay, so that's max 230 knots at Attico, so we're good. Field should be at my 10 o'clock in about 13 miles. I guess, nope, I can't really tell. Not yet. I'm gonna go LS push buttons on for the ILS. So Bravo Papa Romeo identify 13.2 nautical miles out. That was a cool arrival, how we just kind of did a loop-de-loop. See all of Budapest, not all of Hungary, but all of Budapest. Alright, so we're leveling 5,000 feet. We should probably hand fly. What do you guys say? Should we hand fly this? We're on the downwind. Let's hand fly it. Let's go. Take off landing cam. Alright guys. Oh yeah, my replay. Replay, I'll put it here for later. Alright, let's go. My aircraft. Cool. Let's hand fly the rest of the way. So field should be at my, what is it? 9 o'clock. Not necessarily in sight. Let's see how this bad boy feels, hand flying. again. Less is more with the side stick inputs in the Airbus. Less is more. So I can come down to 4,000 pretty much after Etico, and then down to 3,000 for Bravo Papa 865. So when I used to toggle the seatbelt sign, I used to clearly hear a ding from the cockpit, but I don't hear that anymore. From Bravo Papa, it's 865, which is the intermediate fix. It should bring us to about a 12-mile final. Alright, I'm gonna go... Let's get to Atico first. But essentially I'm just gonna go... I'll do it now. Open descent. So max 230 knots, that's checked. We're gonna take a left turn. Budapest traffic Wizz Air 2469 is on a left base runway 31 right, Budapest. Here comes the glide slope, descending below it beautifully. This is the 10-mile ring. Alright, here comes 3,000. I can pretty much intercept the ILS now. So I'm going to slowly make that left turn. Turn in final, here we go. Let's go Loke. Loke star. Here comes the Loke. 2,500 checked. So far so good on the hand flying. It feels gorgeous. It feels gorgeous. It feels really good. We're gonna catch the ILS from the other side, that's fine. Let's go approach. It's probably the side stick dampening. It needs a little bit more input than I'm used to. That's why I went through the localizer. That's fine, we're back on it. Just following the flight directors here. Got a little bit of tailwind, not really. 2 knots, it's nothing. Alright, I'm gonna slow it down. Budapest traffic Wizz Air 2469 is on a 7-mile final runway 31 right, Budapest. Alright, give me gear down. Flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 3. One thousand checked. Stable misapproach altitude 3000 set. I don't know if I agree with the glide slope here. Alright, we do get two red, two whites on the Pappy.
100 above. Minimum.
Landing.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Woohoo! Right, nose down, nose down. Spoilers, reverse green. 60 knots. Manual braking. Chrono. And welcome down to Budapest. That was a nice hand-flown approach. That felt good for my first ever landing. It felt more intuitive in the flare. I don't know how to describe it, but it sounded, I mean, it felt good. I like the SDS. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep my sensitivity curves as they are. That was beautiful. Welcome down to Hungary, Budapest. Wow, that was fun, guys. Smash the like button for that landing. We got a certified butter into Budapest. Hour and 9 minutes on the flight time. And we made Yankee too. Budapest traffic Wizz Air 2469 is clear of runway 31 right, taxiing to the terminal via Alpha 7 Lima, Budapest. Alright, let's stop it here for a second. Nice little hand-flown approach. That was fun. Interesting. I don't hear the flaps a lot from up here at the leading edge, but at the trailing edge I hear it pretty loud. Alright, we're just going to take a right here and we'll go... Oh yeah, those were already off, we forgot. Whoops. Taxi lights on, landing lights off, strobe lights can come off. And let's go APU as well. Very nice first flight with the Fenix Block 2. Scott says butter, butter, butter. I agree. And guys, don't go anywhere. Maybe I'll do a quick test of that. Just in terms of the scenery, I'm really in terms of the performance, I'm really curious to see how it performs in say LAX. So I'm just gonna test it there quickly for whoever's interested. Just stick around. Just gonna do maybe a circuit or something, just to see if it's laggy. Does feel awfully quiet from the cockpit. What a fun flight. What a fun flight. Also looking forward to dinner since I've been so busy with work, and then I was setting this stream up. So pretty much haven't eaten other than like a little banana and some salad today at lunchtime. So we're gonna go somewhere there. We'll take any gates. So would I need to use the pedal disconnect right now? Or since I'm on a tiller, it doesn't matter? I guess not. Say I wanted to check the rudders right now as we're moving. So do I go pedal disconnect in? And now I can test the rudders. Oh yeah, see? No input. Now if I go pedal disconnect, now you see the rudders have a small input into this nose wheel. Not as much as the tiller, but it's pretty much what the pedal disconnect does. It's pretty cool to know that it works now. And this is a freeware scenery from flightsim.to. Link is in the description, but it's nothing too crazy, to be honest. But for free, can't go wrong. Better than the default. Although I'm not even sure, because I never compared it to the default. So I'm not sure how the default looks compared to this, if it's even changed at all. But regardless, let's go taxi lights off. And we'll park one of these gates, I guess. That's fine. We'll go right here. I'm just kind of eyeing this out here because I don't have a line. Alright, parking brakes set, APU bleed on, engine number 2. Let's hear it shut down. I like it. Alright. See, that low vibrating drone is I guess a headphone feature in my ear right now. Let's wait for, I guess, interesting how the N1 doesn't wind down the indication here the way it does for the CFMs. So how do I know when it's 5% N1? Alright, we'll just call it right about there. We're gonna turn this stuff off, we're gonna turn this stuff off, we're gonna clean up, we're gonna stop frying the ground personnel with our radars, and we're gonna go here, go here. Welcome down to Budapest, Hungary. Seatbelt signs off, beacon lights off. and commence. Oops. Let's go here. How do I go to deboard? Let's go restart Kutal. It asked me if I want to commence deboarding. I accidentally clicked no. Does this work? RIP. Yeah, I don't know. This is it's just a scenery thing. But it's okay. We're just going to roll the replay anyway. So welcome down to Budapest, Hungary. Weather's looking marvelous down in Budapest. I'm just going to take one quick screenshot. We'll do a replay and then we'll go to LA real quick for a quick circuit. Let's do a screenshot like this. Let's see. Screenshot. Beautiful. Oh, baby. Screenshot here. Good. All right. Let's just hop in. Yeah, for whatever reason, GSX doesn't have that option for deboarding. Let's go panel states, ready, activate. This is definitely something I'm gonna have to change. I don't know why it came up. What is this? Logbook, Beechcraft King Air. Okay. Let's go sounds back up. Get the flaps on full. And we'll turn all the lights back on. All right, let's get the replay. Just before that, actually. So we got 1G on the landing and 72. Oh my goodness, that was a butter. Like I said, it felt better than before. Whatever I was flying before, it felt better. It almost feels a little bit more dull, but more responsive at the same time. I don't know how that, I don't even know if that makes sense. We'll go complete for Sim Toolkit Pro. What do we get? One right on 1500 footers, center line. We shall take that one, my friends. Let's hop off VATSIM. All right, let's go replay. Alright guys, I'm rolling the replay. I'll be right back. I'm just going to hit the lav real quick. I'll leave you guys here. Alright, be right back. Actually, this is going to go too quickly and then we're going to land and it's going to go off the thing. I'll just stick around for now. Smooth as butter, but like I said, we'll see how it is in LAX. It's probably not going to be the case. Oh yeah, that was a certified greaser. Do 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 do. Let's see what the weather is like in LA for a circuit. And the nose wanted to kind of come back up on me for a second. So definitely the nose wheel on touchdown feels a little bit different. The flare definitely felt good. I started arresting this descent at 50 feet and then properly flaring at 30 feet. Oh, ho, 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 baby. See over there, right there, I think I was doing what I was used to with the Block 1 in terms of keeping the nose wheel up, but that was a little bit too much input for the new flight model. So I'll keep that in mind. So let's go here. Let's do a couple plane spotters point of view. Man, I'll take that for our first ever landing. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see this bad boy come in. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. The song reminds me of like Home Alone or something. It has that like mischievous tone to it. Do, 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 do. Ho, 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 ho. That was not a landing. That was but a mere harmonization of the main landing gear with the pavement. That's what that was. That was not a landing. That was a harmonization. LAX as of 8:53 or 7:53 is 250 at 11. Okay, a little bit gusty. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, 0053 Zulu is 7:53, so it's almost an hour old, but the winds are 11 knots from 250, which is down the nose if you're doing the 24s or 25 runways. Few clouds, 900, few 7,000, 3001. All right, let's do a quick circuit in LA just to see the performance. All right. Beautiful. We'll end this now. Smash that like button if you haven't already for that flight. That was super fun. I hope I was able to showcase the Fenix Block 2 for you guys the best that I could. Now just to see if it'll lag. Now keep in mind this is a second flight, so oh wow, what the hell, that looks so cool. Is that a new type of background or is that a glitch right now? This is strictly for performance purposes, for science. We're doing it for science right now. We're gonna go, let's just do the 2 4s. Sunset in LA right now. Alright, so we're just doing one circuit for science. I'll do a left-hand circuit to stay away from the terrain. So like I said, because it's the second flight of the evening, keep the performance how it appears with a grain of salt, because it would probably be more smooth if it was the first flight of the day, because right now my RAM is probably full and stuff like that. But wait, what is this? Where are we? Hold on, did I not go to LAX? Or is my sim tripping out? That was not LAX. Okay, so LAX. This is LAX, right? LAX. Good. And if I go here, I don't know where it loaded us before. Is that? That's really weird, guys. I don't know what the hell that was about. Hopefully GSX is not screwed up. We'll see. We'll see if it loads us in LAX correctly this time. Okay, I already see some stutters. Stutter. Not bad though. Not bad overall. Look how good LAX looks like during the evening time though. Holy shit. Okay, that is beautiful. Hold on. Screenshot. Wow. All right. So it's evening time. This is real time. We are in beautiful Los Angeles. Let's see my NVIDIA overlay. I'm going to bring my performance up. Pin that over here. You guys can't see it, but I can see it. You're going to have to take my word for it. So I'm getting 86 FPS right now, 81 FPS, 83 FPS. It's like low 80s, 79, 80. So pretty much around 80. Keep in mind we're not on VATSIM. Now what happens if I connect to VATSIM real quick just to test it? So connect, whatever, we'll just call it Wizz Air. It's just for a second. Okay, here comes the traffic, VATSIM traffic. Holy moly, that's loud. Hold on. Sorry about that. Alright, now I'm getting 80 FPS, 78 FPS. So I'm still getting like 75. So the VATSIM cost us around 5 FPS, I would say. It's pretty smooth to me. As you see, all the aircrafts coming in on final. Let's see one of these landings real quick. Floating it up for a butter. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting around 87 FPS, so you know what? So far so good on the performance, even with VATSIM, and this is the second flight. Not bad, guys. 4080 Super for the win. Alright, cool. I'm gonna hop off VATSIM now. So 80 FPS, so far so good. I am pretty happy with those numbers. Hold on, Delta G, take that off, there we go. Okay, what can we do? Let's do GS6 boarding while I go to the lab real quick. And in fact, let's do this. Let's go options, aircraft selector, A320. Let's do JetBlue. Hopefully that won't screw up the sim. Alright, we got the JetBlue. Shout out Raf. I know you love the JetBlue. Let's go. Okay, wait for the Kutal engine to start. Pretty darn smooth. Let's go GSX. Okay, request boarding. There we go, the jetway's coming in and stuff. So cool. That's all good. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna go to the lab and then we'll do a quick circuit.
Passengers boarding starting.
Alright. Man, I love how the sim is performing and how it's looking. Thank you so much to you guys over the last couple of years for your support of the channel to enable me to even think about getting a new PC. And it's definitely paid off. I'm loving the way the new PC is performing, and like Scott said, the Fenix Block 2 performance so far, so good. I'm getting like 80 FPS. I was getting like, you know, 75 FPS-ish with VATSIM on. So right now we are VATSIM off. Good. Get rid of it. We're gonna go over here. Let's do a quick circuit. Let's do a quick circuit. So let's go ground, power. GPU is connected. Good. Let's come up here. We'll go battery 1, battery 2. Turn up the sounds. Good. Good. So let's see, what was the weather down in LA? I wonder if there's a new open aft cargo, open forward cargo. Did you see the way the cargo door was kind of bouncing up and down because of the inertia when it hit its maximum limit? That was pretty cool. We got Owls in the house. Welcome, Owls. How's it going, man? Thanks for dropping by, dude. Owls, what do you think of Block 2? So far, so good. I just finished my flight from Warsaw to Budapest, and now I'm just gonna do a quick circuit, just testing the performance. Loving it, man. I'm loving the IAE engines. I'm loving how they look. I like the GSX integration. It's gonna take a whole bunch of time for us to figure out, like, you know, every single feature and kind of feel it out. But for the first flight, couldn't have asked for more. I'm gonna do a quick screenshot here as well because that just looks too juicy. So yeah, I was getting like 75 FPS with VATSIM on in LA. Should just fly to San Diego. Scott giving ideas, eh? I'm gonna replay for the top left the recent subscriber because Aviation Enthusiast name is so long that it just interferes with the thing. So I'm just replaying that from before. They didn't subscribe now. I just wanted to clean up. Well, you want to test performance, a pattern works. Oh yeah, so Scott was saying, okay, hold on. I was in the middle of saving this screenshot. KLEX to save. Yeah, it's kind of late. I kind of want to eat dinner. I was seriously thinking about it, Scott, but I'm so hungry. I'm just going to do a circuit, dude. It was so tempting. You made me think about it for a second, but I'm like 9:05 by the time I land in San Diego. It's probably going to be over 10 o'clock, and then I have to go cook my dinner, so... Alright, let's hop in and make this quick. Let's see. So I want some floodlights here, first of all. External power is on. Good to go there. What's my mass imbalance? Let's take... first of all, let's go to sim settings, go to units. Good. We're gonna go how much fuel I want. I'll take whatever, let's just take like 7,000 almost. Minimum cargo, and we'll pretend like we only have a few passengers sightseeing for this. So we're gonna be light. So it's gonna be interesting to see if the side stick dampening system feels any different with a light load. Apply and load. We'll do it instantly this time. So that's loaded. 98.6 and 27.2. Okay, so I'm gonna go quickly. Did I get a new weather in LA or no? METAR KLAX. I feel like I just did this. So that was as of 7:53. Oh yeah, there should be a new one. There we go. As of 1:53. So 8:53. It's only 11 minutes old. Winds are 230 at 9er. 10 statute miles visibility, few clouds at 900 feet, few 700, 14, 13, 3002 on the altimeter. So we'll go 3002. LAX to LAX. Flight number, whatever, we'll just pretend like we're JetBlue 2. Cost index, whatever, I'll just say 15, doesn't really matter. Cruising altitude, let me just pull up the charts for LAX here on the side. So, LAX charts, for the approach I want 24 left. I'll pin that. 24 left, I want to come in at around 4,000. So we're not going to request any winds or anything like that. And we already have our loading done, so we're gonna go departure off 24 left. Now do I want a SID? Interesting. Should we just load one anyway? Yasser Kureshi in the house. What's going on, Simple Takeoffs? Welcome, Yasser. Welcome. Welcome to the stream, sir. Just finished our flight to Budapest, and now we're just going to do a quick circuit around LAX. I don't really need any of this if I'm just doing a circuit, so. Yeah, we don't need any of this. We're just going to do the approach for 24 left with no SID and no VIA pretty much. So no SID, 24 left, that's the departure, insert, and then arrival is going to be 24 left, no star and no VIA. We'll pretend like we're on 122.8 even though we're not on VATSIM. Okay, so from here we're going to take off 24 left that way, and then from Bravo Oscar Uniform Bravo Yankee we're going to come in. Can I get that over here? Let's see. Add departure. Approach. ILS 24 left. Open that. How do I get rid of the keyboard? Hold on. How do I get rid of this keyboard? There we go. So we'll set that right there. Whoopsies. Starred. There we go. Ah, why do I keep doing this? Starred. There. There we go. Good. Let's get some lighting going. Good. Turn off this lighting here. Where's my floodlights? So I do have some floodlight over here. Anyways, so that's good with the flight plan. We're gonna go in at B. What was my numbers again? I know there's a light over here. What is this? No? Okay. 98.6 and 27.2. 98.6, 27.2, and 6.9 on the block. Taxi 0.4, that's good. We don't need any of that. Performance. Whoops. Departure on runway 24 left, dry, flaps optimal, packs off. Let's do a packs off. We'll calculate what's the winds. 230 at 9, good, it already grabbed all that. Calculate. Invalid parameters, takeoff range must be in range of. What's our takeoff weight? Where can I see my takeoff weight here? 105.5. Aircraft too heavy for the conditions, runway selected. 24 left. Interesting. So let's see. Max zero fuel weight was what? Hold on, I don't want the Phoenix thing to play till the end. We're gonna start the music from the top. So 26 0.8, 105.5. How is this too heavy? What are we talking about? Sent to make do? Aircraft too heavy for the conditions there. I have no clue what this means. Because there's no way we're heavy. Top limited, TOPL limited. Let me Google what that means real quick. Takeoff performance limited? Up 0.4. Oh, this is in kilograms. That's why. I thought I switched it. So this is in pounds, okay. Departure. What if it wants it in kilograms? So let me see. Let me get my calculator out. And my phone is dead. Hold up. So 105.5, 47.5, so we'll call it 48. It defaults to the maximum, which is 88. So 105. Yeah, I have no idea. If you guys know, let me know. Gross weight. Guess we're just gonna have to make up some V numbers or what? Hold on, let me do a quick sim brief profile. That'll probably fix it. Passengers, I'll just take 6 passengers. Make it pounds. All right, so estimated takeoff weight 108.4. Yeah. I don't know what this is doing. It should work. Alright, I'm just gonna go with these numbers. 108.4, 26.8, 151, I don't know about 113, but 150, 150. Ignore the V1 there. Trim 2 up 0.4, no flex. We'll go Toga. Alright, let's get out of here. We'll go APU. Wait for that to start up. Let's roll it back to sunset. I like that sunset vibe. Go like here. Maybe a little bit less. A little bit earlier. We'll go here. Yeah, that's really odd, guys. if the units are indeed in pounds, then the takeoff weight should be correct. 108.4, and then the Mach 108.4, at least according to SimBrief. And then Mach gross weight for takeoff 26.8. No idea why it's saying takeoff performance limited. See, we're way down here. We're not even close to our maximum takeoff weight because we're so light. Maybe that's why, because we're so light, it's like out of the range for the takeoff performance. I don't think so though. I haven't really encountered that before. But anyways, we got, did we get APU? Let's turn this down a little bit. APU is available. Let's go APU bleed, external power is off. And we'll go GSX, request pushback. Let's get rid of our chocks.
Hello, Captain.
We'll climb to 4,000. We'll get our LS push buttons on. You want to see the look from here, from the beginning. Squawk 2000 and turn that on.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Alright, we're gonna go nose left for the pushback for the circuit. What was my trim? Up 0.4.
Locking gear.
Do that after. Nose to the right.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Alright, let's get engine number 1. Thrust lever not idle. Whoops. There we go. Engine 2 reverser unlocked. Okay. Alright, as that comes alive, let's go enter this real quick. 3002.
Parking brake.
Parking brakes set. 230 at knots.
For a good engine start.
230 at 9 knots rather. And nice view, says Yasser. Thank you, appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying it.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
14 degrees. And ILS minimum is 323. And we know
minimum.
we're gonna go auto brakes 1 for landing. We have long enough runway, so we're not gonna bother checking the performance data for the landing.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Fire him up. Those IAEs are kicking. Let me turn on landing rate monitor again. Alright, so she's out of here. We got two good. It says reverser locked. Interesting. Still stuck in reverse. Why is that? There we go. Alright, two good engines. Let's go here and APU bleed off, and we'll go APU off and toggle that, and we'll go max on that. Flaps 2 on that. Alright, and it's going to be a PAX off takeoff. So we're going to go PAX number 1 off, PAX number 2 off. And boom, boom, boom. Takeoff config. Alright, here comes the cabin calling us, I think. No, not yet. We'll wait to see the cabin thing. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's just see the performance in LA and then we'll call it a night. Alright, there's the cabin. Hello.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. Alright, let's see the chart real quick here. Okay, straight and a right on echo. Alright, I'm gonna pause the music. Hopefully the V speeds won't be an issue. 150 on the rotation. We'll feel it out as well when she wants to fly. All right, let's go. Beautiful Los Angelino. Front looks clear, Cap. So far so good in terms of the performance. Again, I know we're not on VATSIM, but considering this is the second flight and we're in LAX, looking good. All right. Toga. Oh, she's roaring in Toga. Takeoff thrust set. Man Toga SRS runway, auto thrust blue. V1 rotate. Wow. Powerful, powerful. Holy moly. Buzzer rate, gear up, flaps 1. Everything's happening so fast. Flaps up. Wow. This thing is a beast in Toga. Alright, let's go thrust reduction. Oh, baby. Thrust climb, climb, auto thrust. And we're just gonna keep it 210. Wow, I've never done a Toga takeoff before. That was literally the first time. Let's pull a heading. We'll maintain 4,000. Let's go packs. 2 on. Packs 1. Put ourselves on a downwind. So we're on the crosswind turn now. Let's keep that coming. I am amazed by how much of a difference there is in power with Toga than Flex. This whole time we've been flexing like a sucker. We should be doing Toga takeoffs in the sim. That thing felt like a beast, man. Let's go on the downwind. So we'll go on a heading of like 06. I forgot to show the flight control cam for the takeoff, my bad. The winds are pretty much calm. One day we should do an auto land with this thing as well, just to see how the auto land works. Toga party. Yes, sir. There's the field. Alright, I'm gonna make it 070. So we're gonna go performance, activate approach phase, confirm. We're looking for a VAP of, because we're light, that makes sense, 120. Pretty light. Looking good. We'll go ahead and get the wing lights as well. And logo lights. Yeah, I mean, if it's performance we want to measure in LAX, I mean, butter, chef's kiss. So far, so good, guys. It is performing amazing. It was smooth all the way. Now again, I know it'll be a little bit different on VATSIM, but I tested it out on VATSIM as well, and it was just like 5 FPS less. Alright, I'm going to bring it down. Give me speed check flaps 1 and give me 180. There's the field. We're going to keep it all lit up. Let our 5-6 passengers know that we're going to land soon. Yeah, I still wonder why the takeoff numbers were saying takeoff performance limited. Don't know what that was about. If anybody figures that out, let me know. Alright, hold on. Let me just get some more water. I know the autopilot's off. One sec. Actually, I'll just wait. I don't want to risk it. And I don't want to turn on the autopilot. Screw it. Scott says, great flying tonight. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks, Scott. It has been fun, man. I'm not gonna lie, I've been having a lot of fun here. That toga takeoff, Scott, felt amazing, man. I couldn't believe how quickly we reached 150 on the rotation speed. Like I said, we should do toga flights, toga takeoffs more often. Alright, we're gonna go when we're ready. Let's go 340 for the base. Here comes the glide slope. Be above us, so let's go 340. JetBlue 2, turn left heading 340. Left heading 340, JetBlue 2. There's the field. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. 180. will be great for Jackson Hole. Ooh, yeah, the toga for sure. Okay, JetBlue 2, you are 3 miles from Booby. Turn left heading 280. Intercept the localizer. Left heading 280. Join the loc for JetBlue 2. And JetBlue 2, you're cleared ILS approach on way 24 left. Cleared ILS 24 left approach, JetBlue 2. Alright, loc has been captured. Here comes the glide slope. Alright, give me flaps 2. Speed check. Flaps 2. There's downtown LA right there. Alright, let's not miss the glide slope. Alright, activated approach phase, I believe. We're looking for 120 on the VAP. Yeah, the performance seems great. I wonder how it'll be at JFK. But surpassed my expectations given we're streaming in 2K. It's the second flight of the night. And everything is on ultra settings. So we'll take that. Alright, hold your ears, might be a little bit loud. I love that livery with the Brooklyn Nets. Even though I'm not a Brooklyn Nets fan, that's a pretty cool tail.
2,500.
2,500 checked. Yeah, I think the verdict is it's definitely better in performance than the CFMs were in LA in this exact same spot. I'm going with that. That's my opinion. That is my opinion and I'm sticking to it. It definitely feels smoother, guys, for sure. Definitely feels smoother. Alright, give me gear down. Flaps 3.
$1,000.
1,000 check. Slowing it down all the way to 120. Because we're super light, we only have 6 passengers on board right now. Oh shit, Replay. Did I close my replay? Ah! Okay, don't rush. Flight recorder. Yes. Completely made me unstable here.
500.
Record, thank you. Alright, there we go. So 2 red, 2 white on the paps.
Above.
You can't memo landing no blue. Glide slope shows us low, but this shows us high. We're gonna go with the pappies.
Light slope.
Nope, ignore, disregard.
Light slope.
Disregard.
Light slope.
Disregard.
Light slope.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5,
A little bit of a crosswind as well. Knots. Stowe, welcome to LA. Welcome back to LA. Alright, that's pretty fun, guys. That is pretty fun. I can totally with confidence say I like this side stick dampening deal. Personally, I like it. Alright, we're just gonna go right through the replay and check it out. Again, on your way out, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. I'd really appreciate the support. So that was another butter. We'll take it. We got 0.99 on the G's and 128. So I think what happened was the crosswinds blew us a little bit to the right of center line, but we corrected with the rudder. We'll take that. Should have accounted a little bit more for the crosswind, but all good. Look how smooth this is, man. Holy moly. I think this is performing even better than the PMDG 7.3, to be honest with you guys. Alright guys, I appreciate all you guys who were in chat today. Thanks so much to Scott and Brendan for the tip. Just me, KW Airlines, Scott, Brendan, Yasser Qureshi, and all you guys. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this stream as much as I did. That was really fun, and we should do European ops more often. We should definitely do European ops more often. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of the replay and enjoy the rest of your night, and until next time, I'm out. Smash that like button on your way out. IAE engines block 2, let's go. So exciting, guys. It's going to open up a lot in terms of performance, and it feels amazing. Look at that, buttery smooth in LAX. All right, we're out of here. See ya till next time. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Peace. I'm out.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Like a phoenix, you burst
to electric boogaloo.